So I've been thinking back on recent history pretty much since we moved into this property about all the bad things that have happened to this country. It's just devastating, absolutely devastating. I mean, I don't even know how anybody is surviving this. I'm not even sure anybody is surviving this. Of course, being isolated here on the property, I'm not really aware of things. As a matter of fact, the current events are happening over there in the Middle East. I wasn't even aware of it for a couple of days, and then I watched some YouTuber say, if you haven't heard what's happening in the Middle East, you must be living under a rock. So I immediately started looking for the rock because I hadn't heard anything. If we think back about all the bad things that have happened, I don't even know where to begin. I mean, it does begin with the virus. We were all put down on lockdown, and that was a pretty scary time. We were told to do things, and if we didn't do things, we were going to die. And I mean, I guess it was pretty devastating. We all had to walk around in masks, and I guess that was pretty bad. But then right after that, it got much worse, a lot quicker than I would have ever expected. I remember, maybe you don't remember this, maybe you've gotten so accustomed to not having food that you don't remember this, but I remember that they were making cargo ships sit out in the bay over there in California to wait to be unloaded because they couldn't unload the ships fast enough because there wasn't enough trucks to come pick the things up, and it was just devastating. So although I didn't see it, because again, I live under a rock, I'm not sure what rock that is. I don't feel like I'm living under a rock, but I guess because I'm living under a rock, I do recognize that all the stores, all the grocery stores, Walmart, Target, and all those stores ran out of stuff. I mean, it was completely empty. There was nothing on the shelves. And so, of course, everybody started to scramble, and there was chaos on the streets. People were slaughtering each other. I would just keep hearing about the population explosion, and so I'm not understanding how so many people died on the streets. At the same time, population has been growing. And then it was like in February of 2022, there was this conflict happening over in Europe. I can't use the words. If I said the words, then I'd be in trouble. And it was, I think, just a couple months later after that, we all can remember, well, I don't remember that well because I was living under a rock, the bully country over there in Europe, Europe, launched a nuclear missile into New York City and wiped out the entire city. It was devastating. I can't even imagine that kind of destruction. And of course, we can't forget that we did not retaliate because we don't have a president strong enough to do anything like that. He actually apologized, is my understanding, to the president of that bully country that we were so mean to him. We keep sending money over to the country to defend itself. All the while, we should be defending ourselves because apparently we just keep getting one nuclear bomb after another launched at us, and we just sit there and smile like, okay, give us another one. Now, I am aware of the dollar completely crashing, and we have completely went into financial ruins multiple times in the last 3 to 4 years. I mean, it's almost like every 6 weeks, the dollar crashes, we all go bankrupt, the banks close, we lose all our assets, and within 6 months, we rebuild ourselves, and we got a great stock market, and everything recovers, the gas prices come back down, and then all of a sudden, the dollar crashes again, we're all poor. It's amazing how many times the dollar has crashed, but somehow we always seem to pick ourselves back up. I mean, I got a gas station not too far from here, and the prices are usually higher at this gas station than it is in the big town, about 40 miles away. But I watch the gas prices go up and down all the time. You know, they'll go up 50 cents, come down 50 cents. And so then I know for a fact that the rest of the country is absolutely suffering financial devastation. And of course, I make a video saying, well, just rely on yourself, get some firewood, raise your chickens, then you don't have to worry about the dollar. But nobody listens to me. They just go right back to spending money and everything's great, and then boom, all of a sudden, all the money's gone again. It's almost daily that something devastating is happening to this country, daily. And I'm just not aware of it. I mean, I hear it. The only news I get is from YouTube. And I don't trust the mainstream media, the cable news companies. I don't trust them at all. So I try to get my news from other sources and multiple sources. And I mean, I watch the mainstream media, and they all say the same thing, that the whole world's coming to an end, or has ended. That's another one. It has ended. This conflict in Europe, I mean, I tell you, every day we're getting bombarded with nuclear bombs. I don't know. Well, obviously, I've said many times that you should live off grid. It's just an easier way of life to me, one that you can rely on yourself. If you're worried about the electric grid going down because of the whatever catastrophe that's going to happen, I mean, I've heard this one so many times, I can't believe how many people have survived. But over there on the east a couple years ago, they ran, something happened with fuel oil, and apparently everybody froze. I think everybody in Europe has froze at least 4 or 5 times. They've all just froze to death, everybody. And almost overnight, the next very summer, the next very season comes around, and everybody's back to life again, with the next catastrophe getting ready to happen. You remember Texas, and that was pretty bad 2 weeks, I think. Texas got hammered pretty hard with the cold front and the snow, and people were doing some pretty silly things, you know, like starting a car in the garage, and they were dying. But the thing is the numbers were understandable. The number of deaths, it kind of made sense, you know, several hundred, or, you know, whatever that is. But over there on the east, apparently everybody died from hypothermia and cold, froze to death. Well, obviously the next catastrophe is what just happened into the Middle East. This one's sad. It's like a baseball game from what I can see on the news. Oh, go the Cardinals! No, the Red Sox! And people are picking their sides. Right here in the United States, we're picking sides. And I'm kind of like in the neutral zone. I'm like, I don't know. What difference does it make? I'm not really sure. I don't know. I mean, I know what side I'm supposed to pick. Wait a minute, no, I'm not. Because on the other side I said I was supposed to. So I don't know who I'm supposed to pick. What I know is the conflict has been going on for generations, maybe 2,000 years. And it hasn't resolved itself. And here we are now. Oh my gosh, what happened? How can this possibly happen? Well, it happened because it's been boiling for 2,000 years. It's bound to boil over. But that's okay, because apparently whatever happens over there happens here. We see it all the time. I mean, absolutely all the time. We see it all the time. Whatever happens, I mean, think about it. That European country got attacked, and then all of a sudden a nuclear bomb was dropped on New York. I mean, we see it all the time, so I'm sure that this is true. It's going to happen here. These people are going to come over our border, and they're going to attack us, and we're all going to die. Remember, our country is just as big as the country that they already attacked with the number of people. We should be all very frightened of all this. It's terrifying. Of course, I'm being sarcastic, and I get so tired of the fear-mongering. And I don't even know if I get tired of the fear-mongering, because the fear-mongering sells. People buy it, people watch it, people believe it. But then when I do a video like this, they'll be like, what are you talking about? There was no nuclear bomb in New York City. But you wanted it to happen. You watched those videos, you commented in those videos, and you said, yeah, I know, we're in trouble. Nuclear bomb's gonna strike New York. I mean, New York City was making videos and commercials talking about how to protect yourself in the event of a nuclear war, but it didn't happen. Here's the thing I struggle with. We knew for an absolute fact, no conspiracy, nothing, that the World Trade Centers were going to get attacked. They were attacked before, in the earlier 90s. I think, 96, maybe 93, I forget. And so we knew they were plotting against us. That won't happen. But now we are just so afraid of everything. What's behind that tree? During World War II, we knew that there was a plot against the United States. We knew it. Our president was hoping for it because he wanted to join the war, but he knew he didn't have the support of the American people. But he wanted to join it. So he knew they were going to attack Hawaii. He knew it. And he let them attack. That's history. That's no big deal. What's behind this corner? And look, I know people are going to say, oh, Rob, you're making too big of a light of this. It could happen. And I understand it can happen. But there's a difference between paranoia and believing every conspiracy theory you have, and if you don't have one, then you make one up, and situational awareness. In the past, when 9/11, we weren't even situationally aware. We weren't paranoid. We were more worried about aliens attacking because X-Files was on TV. And that's the truth. We really soaked up every video we could find or TV series about alien abductions and aliens, and boy, I mean, that's all we thought about. All the while, we were getting attacked in New York City. The thing is what's really scary is we're trying to rejuvenate that. We are trying to make that happen again. I see it all the time. FBI has confirmed an alien sighting in such and such place. And now we have doorbell ringer companies asking for footage of aliens from the doorbell ringer thingy, the camera thing. So we're trying to get ourselves to believe in a conspiracy theory that's way out there. So we'll stop believing in the ones that we're making up about nuclear bombs. So be situationally aware, but don't be paranoid. It's every good self-defense motto to have. I watch this YouTuber and that's what he says every day. Be situationally aware, but you don't have to be constantly looking over your shoulder. But if you hear stomping behind you, turn around and take a look. I mean, you have two types of people. The ones that are always constantly looking and the other ones that ignore everything. They don't hear the bad guys running up on them, stomping their feet. Hey, hey, come give me your money. What? Completely oblivious to what's going on. When you're in a Walmart, there's two types of people. The one that has their nose buried in every price tag they can find, not paying attention to what's going on around them, and the ones that are plotting what they're going to do if they hear shooting. Well, why can't you be somewhere in between? I know that if I hear a shot, that I'm not going to run towards the gunfire like every other macho man. I want to take that bad guy down. You don't know if there's multiple attackers or what there is, but you're going to go down there and you're going to find the bad guy and you're going to shoot him and then get shot in the back because his accomplice was right behind you. Let's say you're over in the meat aisle. There's a sign that says exit right in the middle of the frozen meats freezers. All you got to do is say, hey, hon, come with me. We're going to go outside. And you walk out the door. So you stay situationally aware enough that you can hear the gunfire and you can still shop. And you don't feel like you're going to be Rambo going up there to shoot. I mean, I've seen a video like that. Some guy runs up, takes a shot at the bad guy, and instantly his accomplice shoots him in the head. I make these sarcastic videos to hope to make a point. And 9 times out of 10, the comment section will be filled up with, that didn't happen. What are you talking about? Oh no, we've got plenty of food. You living under a rock? I get that all the time. But this is like the 3rd video I've made. I cannot get over the fear that we want to be put through. And what's so funny to me, and what I just don't understand, is you watch these prepping channels and they're like, okay, today we're going to have a financial collapse, a nuclear bomb. The shelves are going to be empty. I made 4 videos already, boy. It's a big news day. It's a big conspiracy day. And in every video, the comment section is filled up, thanks, man. You're saving my life. Thanks, man. You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work. I appreciate it. Well, what happened to last year when he said that we're going to be in financial collapse and the nuclear bombs were going to strike and you're going to have to buy? There's this pill that you can buy on Amazon that if a nuclear bomb goes off, you're supposed to take this pill and protect your thyroid. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want anything to happen like it did last year. But several of these YouTubers said to buy this thing. I went over to Amazon to see if I could find any just to see what it was all about, and it was sold out. These guys convinced you to go spend your hard-earned money on tablets so you can protect yourself against radiation poisoning, and we haven't been radiated. And then when it doesn't come true, they scare you enough with the next video that you forget about the last video. But I don't forget. I usually go back a year ago on these guys' videos to see what they were talking about. Either they're repeating themselves almost verbatim. Yeah, the economic collapse is going to happen today. And the reason they do it is because you keep coming back to watch. It gets them views and makes them money. And so every month or so, they're selling you a brand new solar generator. There's an easier way of doing things. Take care of yourself. Don't worry about what government's doing. Don't worry about what the other countries are doing, because we can't stop it. There's nothing we can do about it. The only thing this is doing is making you stressed, causing you anxiety, causing you with health problems. But if you just stop paying attention to it all, be situationally aware, but don't be paranoid, don't have conspiracy theories, you're going to be much happier. And when you become as happy as I am, you don't worry about what's going on over there or whose side you're going to pick. What I know is going to happen is our government will do a thing that I'm not going to like. If they do anything, I can guarantee you I'm not going to like it. Since I can't stop it from happening, why try? Why not just pull yourself away from it? So if you click this up next box, it'll take you to a video where I was talking about terrible happened right here on the homestead. So if I can inspire you living in fear, so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.